You are at a point in your life where every moment is precious and every step is a valuable investment in your well-being. After many years of sacrifices, hardships, and goals, you have built a priceless treasure, your peace of mind. But just when you are about to enjoy it, someone tries to take away everything you have worked so hard to achieve. At a certain point in life, time becomes the most important resource. Every minute is precious. Every relationship should add value rather than drain your energy. Some people, however, manage to distract you from the peace and balance you deserve by filling your personal space with endless demands. In this text, we will talk about demands that should never be fulfilled, especially when they come from those who appear to be looking out only for their own interests. These demands do more than just sap your energy. They can steal your peace of mind and, in some cases, even put your happiness at risk. Sometimes these demands seem harmless, coming from a child, a friend, a sibling, or a neighbor, but in the long run, they become an unbearable burden. These individuals not only occupy your time and energy, but also have the potential to leave deep wounds in your peace of mind. I want you to stay with me because what we are going to discuss is as much about protecting your boundaries as it is about realizing who truly deserves a place in your life. In this video, we will look at 5 fundamental demands that no one has the right to ask of you at this stage of life. Recognizing these demands early and knowing when to say stop is critical to safeguarding your peace of mind. The last request in particular is far more insidious and dangerous than you might think, and learning to avoid it can radically change your experience in relationships. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our Mindful Sphere channel so you can follow our content on personal and spiritual development. Now, without further ado, let's get to the point. 1. Lending money for no reason. Lending money without a valid reason can wear you down both financially and emotionally. This is because the people who ask for a loan rarely consider how important this situation is in your life. They often present an urgent scenario that is actually the product of poor resource management. Lending money puts at risk the financial stability you have built over many years of hard work and sacrifice, and it ties your peace of mind to a promise that is often not kept. Remember, debt is never just about money. When it goes unpaid, it becomes an emotional burden, creating hidden tensions in relationships you believe to be strong. If the person asks for another loan later, you will face the guilt of saying no, which adds yet another source of stress. The entire cycle can become a trap, jeopardizing both your financial well-being and your close relationships. The most important step is to scrutinize every request carefully and say no without hesitation if it does not feel right to you. This is not selfishness at all. On the contrary, it reflects your right to protect the peace of mind and financial balance you have so painstakingly built. Remember, you may no longer have abundant time to recover from major losses, but you do have the right to safeguard the peace you've earned. 2. Acting as an arbitrator in other people's conflicts. Taking on the role of a referee in other people's conflicts can place you right in the middle of problems you did not create. This becomes even more challenging if the request comes from those close to you. In such cases, the parties who started the conflict expect you to solve tensions that do not belong to you, hoping for an outcome that suits their own needs. This often comes at a high price. Your mental health and peace of mind bear the weight of responsibilities that are not yours. Furthermore, the people who involve you in their conflicts are often more interested in finding an ally than genuinely seeking a resolution. Remaining neutral becomes difficult, and you risk alienating or hurting others in the process. Instead of bringing peace, Being the arbitrator can pull you into a spiral of misunderstandings and blame. That is why setting clear boundaries is crucial. Remember, it is not your job to resolve a conflict between two adults, especially if it compromises your own well-being. If someone asks you to mediate, keep in mind that everyone is responsible for their own choices. Your primary duty is to maintain your own balance. You are not obligated to fix issues that aren't yours. 3. Saying you agree, even when they are wrong. Some people seek your approval even when they are clearly in the wrong, simply to avoid opposition. For them, a quick "you're right" makes everything easier. However, this approach makes you ignore your true thoughts, and over time can damage the mutual respect that should exist between both parties. Blindly agreeing does not help the other person at all. On the contrary, it encourages them to persist on a mistaken path. In an attempt to not be too harsh or avoid hurting them, you might hide the truth at first, but in reality, you share responsibility for their mistake by becoming an unintentional accomplice. In close relationships, this pattern can easily become a habit, making it even harder to guide someone back to what is true. Therefore, it is essential not to hide your authentic feelings and opinions. Of course, not everyone will appreciate your honesty, but keep in mind that your job is not to please everyone. It's to remain as genuine as you can. Your experience and insight may prove beneficial even to those who initially disagree. Both self-respect and respect for others begin with the willingness to express your thoughts sincerely. This lays a solid foundation for your relationships, enabling both sides to make healthier choices. 4. Forgetting your limits and always doing more. Some people cannot see that you have already given more than enough, so no matter how tired or overwhelmed you are, they constantly ask you for just a little more. It is as if they believe you have no right to rest at all. Such an expectation wears you down both physically and mentally, and eventually drains your strength. By always putting others first, you lose time you could have invested in yourself. Sadly, these individuals are usually unaware of the immense burden they are placing on you. They fail to realize that everyone, including you, needs rest, recuperation, and renewal. This is precisely why learning to say enough is so important. It is not a sign of selfishness, but rather evidence that you recognize your own worth and prioritize your health. Your energy is a limited resource. It is entirely within your rights to channel it into pursuits that truly nurture and fulfill you. Never forget, your health is your most valuable asset, and nobody has the right to jeopardize it for their personal gain. 5. Always keeping the door open, even if the other person has closed it. Some people vanish quietly when all their needs are met, only to reappear the moment they need your help again. Regardless of how they have treated you or how much time has passed, they expect you to be ready whenever they decide to come back. It is as if your life has been paused, just waiting for their return. This behavior is not respect, it is exploitation. When you insist on leaving the door open for those who have already closed theirs, you send a message that your feelings do not matter. Yet you have every right to have people in your life who consistently treat you with respect, not just when it suits them. Closing the door is not an act of insensitivity. On the contrary, it shows that you value your time and personal space. Remember, you do not have to wait for anyone or continually open your door to those who have treated you poorly in the past. Look closely at who really deserves a place in your life. This decision reflects the value you place on yourself. Life is a precious gift, and the way you feel each day should mirror your sense of peace, calm, and personal values. Giving in to the disrespectful demands of others undermines the life you have painstakingly built. Saying no is not selfish. It is a valid way to protect your dignity, energy, and time. Have you ever been in a situation where someone tried to take advantage of your kindness or availability? How did you respond? Were you able to set boundaries, or did you struggle to find the right balance? Let us know in the comments. Your experiences may inspire or guide others in a similar predicament. If this video offered you new insights, please don't forget to like it and share it with your community. Also, be sure to subscribe to our Mindful Sphere channel so you don't miss future content. And always remember, your inner peace is the result of the conscious choices you make. Protect it and don't let anyone jeopardize it. Life is yours. Live it with courage and self-respect. See you in the next video.